I don't know how we got on the succession.
I don't know how the conversation
How we
got
get
over
there? We got over there.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but
It was the lightning strike.
The lightning strike. That's right. There was a lightning strike in Washington, D.C. It hit 4 people. 2 died. And we were pondering, could we be a little more specific in directing a lightning strike?
Poof.
And so if that happened, who would follow the president? And, of course, he's been in isolation with COVID and all
that. The president, the vice president, and the speaker, but we were looking for the fourth in line.
So the vice president, Kamala Harris, would be first, then Nancy Pelosi. Do you know who the president pro tem of the Senate is?
Oh, heavens no.
I didn't know until I saw this.
Yeah.
We know that Chuck Schumer is the Senate majority leader.
Right.
But the vice president actually presides over the Senate and breaks ties. So if Harris is already in the line of succession, then who is the president pro tem of the Senate? That is Patrick Leahy.
Okay.
So Patrick Leahy is next. Then Secretary of State, who is Anthony Blinken. Then it's the Secretary of the Treasury.
Here's back to building the clock.
Janet Yellen. Then you've got Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. The Attorney General is 7th in line, Merrick Garland. And then our very own Deb Haaland, former Congresswoman and now the Secretary of the Interior, is actually 8th in line for President of the United States.
Did you ever watch the movie Lone Survivor?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
What was that about?
No, I was just all of a sudden had this brain fart thinking, oh, is that the right title? With Keith Sutherland?
Okay.
I think it was.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it.
Okay, well, I'll find out. Somebody will call and let me know whether
Well,
it
I've
was
seen
right or
these
not.
movies like Independence Day or whatever where
Yeah,
they take all the
bad
leadership.
things happened and he was, just there and they were going to get him out of the Senate or the Congress or whatever. And all of a sudden he ends up being president of the United States.
Yeah.
And since he's a virtual nobody in a sense, but he runs the country pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some interesting people that are on the list here, and I don't think it's ever happened other than the vice president has had to assume being the president.
Right.
And there have been times when the president has had undergo surgery or had something like that, and so they temporarily transfer to the vice president of the United States, and then it comes back to the president when he comes out of surgery or whatever.
And that's been just recent when they did that too.
Yeah.
So we've had some incidences.
Right, but it's interesting to think that Nancy Pelosi is right behind the vice president.
Probably salivating as we speak.
Yeah, I know. So, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, we could talk about the state of this community.
Well, let me ask you this. The Traveling Dumpsters project has concluded for the year.
They're gone.
Do we pick up a lot of trash this year?
I went out and got the tickets the other day so I could add it all up, and either their scale has an issue or we really didn't get as much. Of course, we were only running 2 roll-offs, and most of the time there are 4, except for 10th and Missouri, which is right north of the church, because there's not room there for more than 2.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot less because we didn't do them last year because there weren't any available, believe it or not, anywhere.
Right.
They were all rented out. And the year before that, we had like 119 tons of crap. Well, it was way down this year. Like,
wow.
According to the tickets that I picked up.
Yeah.
Like 39 tons is nothing for roll-offs.
Wow. Compared to 100 and plus
19,
before.
Yeah. So.
Well, maybe Artesia is just a lot cleaner now.
No. No. Not if you drive the places that I drive.
That would be an incorrect assumption.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you would think after doing this for so many years and people hauling off stuff that you would see a dent,
Yeah.
a small dent, if nothing else. But people haul a lot of limbs, and in essence, they really don't weigh as much as you think they should. So that could be some of it, because I know there were a lot of limbs, but there was also furniture. And, a couch is very awkward, but if you actually weighed it, it doesn't really weigh as much as you think it should.
Okay.
Unless it's a sleeper sofa. Oh, yeah. Those
Yeah.
are real picnics to
Those
try
are
to
super
load
heavy.
around. Yes.
So a lot
But-
less tonnage this year than the
yes.
previous years.
So I don't know if their scale was off or somebody, surely they weighed every time they went through there, because that's a thing we want to
Right.
know. And I think they have to weigh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
Well, how
a
about
lot
your
less.
e-waste? How did that turn out?
We had 16,844 pounds.
Okay.
So that was 2,000 pounds more than last year.
Okay.
Go figure.
So you
I'm
had
not-
more e-waste this year,
Well,
but from a weight standpoint.
weight-wise, yes.
But a significantly lower amount in the traveling dumpsters.
yeah. So
Weird.
go figure it. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Our computer in here waited till after the e-waste to die. So it's in the back of the building waiting to go to the Linda pile. We have a Linda pile at the transmitter site.
That's good. Are you going to remember it though next year?
Lana will not forget.
Oh, okay. Good.
That will be remembered. And if we do what I think I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have 3 more computers to go into the Linda pile.
Well, you
here
just walk
very
through and
shortly.
say, if you have any intentions of dying, do it now before e-waste.
Yeah, that's true. But they usually don't die when they need to die,
No, of course not. No.
or when a good opportunity to die. That's not when they die.
No.
The worst time for them to die is when they
you
die.
need it.
That's
yes.
right. Yeah, you're in the middle
Yes.
of a project or billing or
But that's
processing something.
Murphy's Law for
Yeah.
whatever,
yeah. What's somebody I work with? They say I have met Murphy.
Oh,
I know him well.
a friend of mine years ago, I swear she should have been a stand-up comedian. She truly missed her calling. She had like $349 and some odd cents. And she went to the bank to deposit it in, I think, savings account or whatever. And of course, unless you knew her, you didn't know whether to take her serious or she was joking. And she told the teller, "Do not tell anybody how much I put in here." Well, of course not. We don't, that's, private information. We don't divulge this.
Right.
2 days later, she's back.
Uh-huh.
An appliance died that exact amount. And she said, "I told you not." But I didn't. I swear I didn't.
You told the appliance.
Yeah. And she also had this theory. If you bring a new one in the house, block off the area so that none of the other appliances can see it, because
yeah.
they can get jealous. And they all belong to the same little union.
They do.
And they'll go belly up just
Yeah.
because they're jealous of the new kid on the block.
Yeah, radio transmitters are like this. I had a friend in the transmitter business, in the radio business, radio station business, and they had a transmitter. It was an old transmitter. It had been working great for years and years and years and years. They replaced it with a new one, and they were going to use it as the standby, the backup. And once it was offline and the new one was online, it never came back on again.
Oh, it died of heartbreak.
Yeah, it did. That's exactly right.
Yes.
So
See, you don't mess with things, and you talk nice to them, because they can do bad things to you when you least expect it.
Oh, I agree with you entirely. I believe that completely.
As dumb as it sounds, and y'all are out there rolling on the floor or rolling your eyes,
Yeah.
just mark our words very carefully.
We have a remote today. And I'm going to pull the old laptop out, and I'm going to say, "One more remote, please."
Yes. Bless it.
Please,
Yes.
one more remote. Hang in there. One more remote. Can you do today? And it'll work and all that. So yeah, I think there is an awareness or a consciousness. I don't know if it's not a full-blown soul
No.
like
no,
a human
no.
has, but there is a there is something about equipment and machines and stuff like that and you can hear it too. I don't know about you. You can hear whether or not appliances or computers or devices like that are healthy.
I haven't listened, but now I'm going to have to start.
Well, you don't think about it because
No.
you're just used to the sound of what it is.
What it is.
But
if it starts doing something that's not familiar, you will recognize it.
Yeah, I think that thing's about to go out. Why? Because it doesn't sound right. Mm-hmm. And you'll pick up on it, and you'll hear that something doesn't sound quite right with it.
Well, that's like your car. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what your car sounds like.
That's right.
And I have driven mechanics to drink almost, because I'll go in and say, there's something over here on the right side that doesn't sound. Do you hear it? I don't hear anything. I said, well, you got to listen.
Yeah.
You know, I know what this sounds like, and this is not supposed to be there.
Unless it's a bottle on the roof.
A bottle?
Were you the one that told me the story about the bottle on the roof or the screwdriver?
No, a screwdriver.
Yeah, unless it's a
my
screwdriver
Lord.
on the roof.
That was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah.
That's a funny story.
It is.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, or prior to the
Everybody's going crazy.
discovery,
You hear it, they don't hear it, can't find it, they can't
don't
find anything
see it
wrong.
because they're not. None of us were tall enough to see it at the appropriate time when
Yeah.
it rolled to the other side.
Yep.
That's one of those that makes you feel so stupid.
Yeah, because in your heart that
Yeah,
there's
ride
a
around
noise
and
there.
listen to this.
Yeah.
Turn
and-
a corner. There it is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No,
And it
everything.
probably wouldn't have been, except they had stripped the inside from all this stuff that the PD had used, and you think, okay, there's something up here that's, loose because it was
Yeah.
here before and they didn't get it tightened or, whatever.
But you get used to how the car sounds. You get
Supposed
used to how it is, and
Yes.
if you don't hear something that's not quite right, like we hit a pothole one time coming back from Carlsbad. We hit a pothole pretty hard, and we kept going. And as we got on 285, we were on the bypass coming around Carlsbad. We hit this massive pothole on the side of the road. We got off the
Yeah.
highway just a bit. It's not so bad now, but back then it was terrible. Boom, boom, hit the pothole really hard. Got on the highway and I said, something doesn't sound right. It's not sounding right. And a mile or two later, we had a blowout.
Oh.
So, you could tell something wasn't right as a
Yeah.
result of that
Oh, yeah.
incident. Sometimes it's not as obvious. I mean, sometimes the thing that you do that results in the sound is not as obvious as that one. I mean, we hit the potholes, boom, boom, and so we were expecting something to go. But,
Sure.
you pick up a nail, something else, and it just, you're hearing a funny noise, and it doesn't sound quite right. And so... Get to check the stuff out. Make sure you figure it out.
But nobody knows your vehicle like you do.
No, 'cause you're in it
Sounds
every
and
day.
smells
Yeah.
and everything. So
Yeah.
mechanics can be driven crazy when you hear some little something that they can't hear, but is not there. And
Yeah.
I used to have one that would open the hood and say, all right, fine, and turn it on. And he actually had a stethoscope and would put it in various places and listen. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's, such and such.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So he
So
was
you-
good. He was a great mechanic.
So, so with the dumpsters done and the e-waste done and all that stuff done, what are you working on next? Do you have a couple of cleanups coming up? Do you have anything
The
going?
next thing is the biggie, of course. Toss No Mas starts
Okay.
1st of August to the end of October.
Okay.
But BLM, which is Bureau of Land Management, which should sue
be
the
clear.
other BLM because they were there first with their initials.
I agree.
Public Lands Day.
Okay.
So
When is that?
September 16th through the 24th.
Okay.
So it's not per se a day. It's kind of a week's worth.
Okay.
So it will be clean. There will be a lot of advertising out and publication, and because it's going to be kind of a competition between Carlsbad and Artesia. Get groups together. You can scan a QR code as to how much trash you have. You need to weigh it, obviously. Go to the transfer station, weigh it, put it on a scale, something. Kind of a fun competition, and then there will be a traveling trophy for whatever. But
so that's coming up in September.
yes,
Okay.
and this has been going on for years, but Public Lands Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to get it in as a competition just for grins. There's lots of illegal dump sites out there that need to be cleaned up and addressed. These shouldn't be there. You know, they found some of them because people report them, and they've sent drones looking and stuff, and they've got the coordinates for them. But you don't have to be as drastic. I mean, there's areas in your community that are needing cleaned up. So this would be great for all companies or big businesses to get a group together and go out and do a cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now, is it going to be on public lands, or will?
They're the ones hosting. So
Okay.
as long as you're doing a cleanup somewhere,
Okay.
they will bless you for it
Okay.
because you need it. You, as in your community.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's a pretty great thing that we're involved in and they're doing. So
Because I didn't know if it needed to be just on BLM managed land or any
just
land.
any place, clean up. You know, especially if you know where there's illegal dump sites and you have the equipment, as in trailers or pickups or whatever needs. Obviously, there's some things out, and I saw some pictures. It's horrendous. You're not just going to be able to go out there and,
Yeah.
pick it up and throw it in the back of your car when you don't want to. You're going to need a pickup. And some places there's so much stuff you need trailer.
Wow.
So
Drones
yeah,
are
which is
amazing, aren't
sad. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, we were painting a dumpster one time over at Central Park, and we kept hearing this, "Bzzz," and we were like, what in the sandhill is that?
they? A large bee or a drone?
Yeah, well, thank goodness it wasn't a bee.
Okay. It was a drone.
And that day, the sky was so blue, and the sun was just right on the trees. And to look up and see it, it was such a beautiful picture or painting at that time to see. But there it was. I guess it was getting its kicks out of watching us paint because it wasn't moving. It was sitting right there. So I don't know what else it was looking at.
Well, we were at Tate Branch down in Carlsbad Sunday, and they had a drone pilot there with a drone, and they were going over the parking lot of the dealership. And the guy's standing over there, and he's got the virtual goggles on. So he's not looking at a screen. That he's holding. He's looking right at it.
Whoa.
And I thought, well, that's just weird because he could look right over there. There it is.
Yes.
But instead, he's looking at it through the display on the goggles as he's piloting the drone that's flying over the parking lot.
I wonder how much training and practice and whatever you need to do, or
Yeah.
how long it takes you to expertly fly a drone.
Sure.
Because you don't want to crash the silly things that are not cheap.
No, that's true. A lot of them now go home if they lose communication with the controller or whatever, the operator. They go home. They go back to where they launched from. But that's why I want to get a drone gun. And it's basically a gun that shoots a signal that disrupts the communication.
Oh.
And so the drone says, okay, I've lost communication. I'm going to go home. And so you got that drone buzzing around, bugging you guys while you're out there painting barrels. You could go and go, poof, and it shoots that signal up there, and the drone will go home. It'll go away. You can stop having it buzzing you. And so that's what I want to get. I don't know if Elon Musk makes those or whatever, and I don't want to get confused. Did you want the flamethrower or did you want the drone gun? I want take the drone gun right now. But I need to get one of those. I need to get a drone. That'd be kind of cool.
You'd
we're
probably
doing
really have
radio
a good time.
remotes and stuff.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to fly them at high school sporting events. That's against NMAA regulations, and so you're not supposed to fly them over sporting events.
Why?
Well, you got a lot of people
Yeah.
in a space.
Okay.
If
so
something
it
goes wrong, you
crashed-
don't want it crashing.
Oh, I'm
on.
thinking of one of these little ones.
Doesn't matter. They're still
If you
gonna.
get hit with one, it's still going to hurt.
It's still gonna
Yeah.
hurt. And
Okay. That
plus,
makes more
there's
sense.
some issues with unfair advantage and all that other
yeah.
kind of stuff. But I think there's a public safety component to it.
Because I was thinking great shots, as for TV or your broadcasting or whatever.
Oh, it'd be awesome. NASCAR had a deal. Fox, when they were doing NASCAR for a while, they had a cable system. Like they have the cable system and the cameras over the football fields now. Mm-hmm. They put one in at one of the racetracks, And that sucker could fly along at 200 miles an hour. And so as those cars were coming out of the turns, it'd be running along that cable with the cars and going with the cars as they come down and go across the start-finish line.
Wow.
Until the cable broke.
Uh-oh.
And on the track, and it caught up several of the cars, and the cars got so wrecked, a couple of them, that they couldn't run the race anymore.
Oh my goodness.
They had to red flag the race to give everybody the opportunity to fix their cars that was damaged if they came in contact with the cable. A couple of them had to go to backup cars, and they said, okay, we're not doing that anymore.
No kidding.
And the cables they put in were supposedly could handle that speed and
well, all right, what about the ones if they're doing it over a football field?
yeah, but they're not running at 200 miles an hour.
No, but still, if that sucker happened to break.
Right. Well, the only reason the one broke is because they assumed it was rated for 200-mile-an-hour use.
Yeah, look what happens
and
when you
it
assume.
didn't happen. But over the football fields, they've not had any instances where those things have done that. It's not likely to happen with those.
Okay.
You run that sucker, you fly that along at 200 miles an hour. And even though they had cable rated for it and they knew it should handle it, it didn't. But anyway,
I will have pictures for Yard of the Week.
Okay.
And I will send them to you.
Excellent.
It didn't get in the paper last week because of fair pictures, so we're kind of a little bit behind because we want to keep y'all both at the same time.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about them.
Okay.
I mean, I don't worry about them. I laughed. We're supposed to pick up NMAA passes next week, and the dude's going to be in Roswell. And so we were communicating yesterday. So, yeah, JP's going to be in Roswell, and you can come by and pick up the passes for your company. I said, that'd be great. We'll have somebody there. And they said, you might want to coordinate with the Artesia Daily Press. I'm like, no. Let them get their own. As I have a radio station and staff in Roswell. We're not coordinating with them.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. It's just that, you know.
Everybody needs to play nice together.
Yeah, but so I don't care about them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you have a yard that you know that's beautiful, great curb appeal, just wonderful landscaping, give me a call.
Okay.
And get them nominated. So yeah, we're going to run this through September. So we have a few more weeks yet.
And you've
Still
got openings.
People on the list, but
you've got some space for a few more. So.
Yeah, we could use a couple more or whatever. So
okay. And
everybody seems to be very thrilled when you go up and say, ding dong, hey, y'all have been nominated. Oh, what? Where? Really? Oh, how neat. They're really humbled and excited that somebody took the time.
You don't have to
notice.
switch your pitch to Girl Scout cookies.
No.
Okay.
No.
They're happy about the Yard of the Week.
They are.
Yeah.
Now, some of them are a little camera shy and don't want their picture, with the sign, which is fine.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Yes. And if you choose to deny it and say, no, I don't think I want to, mine's not good enough or whatever. And I've had people say that, mine's not good enough. That's your privilege.
Right.
But
that's when you get the Girl Scout cookies out.
No. At least somebody has recognized you for your efforts and wanted to show their appreciation.
So what's your number, Linda?
575-513-0143.
All right.
Or you can even call the office at 748-3192. Everybody knows to call 575 because, you will get told your number can't go through at this, so.
Unless, of course, your number doesn't start with 575.
That's true. But here it does.
In your
My
case,
office,
it does.
It does.
In your case, it does.
Yes,
but
it
I
does.
can't tell you how many people I have in my
because
phone
now-
that don't have 575.
Exactly, because you can keep your number.
That's right.
No matter where you're from.
That's
and that
right.
makes you think you're getting spam calls sometimes and you don't answer.
That's right. All right, I want to take a break, get Aaron on here. You have a great weekend.
Oh, you too.